fact that a woman can walk into a courthouse and cite irreconcilable differences as the cause for her divorce and still get lifetime payments is nothing short of highway robbery. You need help for a year or two while you seek employment, but a lifetime?
I'm very sorry that I did.
For what? What job in this world where you can quit on your own accord and ask for half of the company as your severance package? Being the most dangerous commentary show on Beyonce's internet comes with its own set of challenges. YouTube time and time again refuses to promote our videos because we have very controversial takes on extremely sensitive subjects. So chances are, if you stumbled on this clip by accident, you'll never get to see our content again unless you hit that subscribe button. It only takes 1 second. But either way, we're glad you're here. And now, back to the clip. Glorious news recently came out of Florida. Governor Ron DeSantis just signed a bill into law abolishing the concept of forever alimony. And that shrill sound currently deafening your ears is from all the scam artists, men and women, now headed back to the employment line. Jesse, the freedom receipts.
Major changes to alimony agreements. Governor Ron DeSantis signed the bill into law, which now essentially does away with what is known as permanent alimony. Reporter Eric Waxler tonight has more on what the changes really mean.
Camille Malone, 5-ish, says the recent change to Florida's alimony laws has her wanting to change her allegiance.
Well, I'm really disappointed because I'm a Republican. I voted for Governor DeSantis, and this makes me very sorry that I did.
Governor Ron DeSantis signed the bill that does away with what's known as permanent alimony. A group known as the First Wives Advocacy Group is among those strongly against the new law, saying it puts older women in a situation that will cause financial devastation. Camille, who was married for more than 30 years, says she agrees and made concessions in her divorce based on getting alimony for life.
They don't give it out very often. It's a very rare occasion when they do give it. It's a long-term marriage. The spouse that is seeking it usually has never worked outside of home, that is, because working in home is work.
Those in favor of the changes says permanent alimony forces them to work long past the age they wanted to retire because they had to make those payments. The law also allows ex-spouses to see modifications to alimony agreements when they want to retire.
The court is always going to start with need and ability. That has not changed.
St. Petersburg family attorney Nicole Perlman says she's getting lots of calls from her clients wondering what the changes really mean.
So it doesn't matter if there's a difference in income or you are married for 20 years. If there's no need, there's going to be no alimony.
The statute was also amended to force the court to reduce or end alimony if the person getting alimony is in a supportive relationship, and that does not have to be a marriage.
A lot of people in their heads think, oh, well, I'm not going to marry this person, so I get my alimony still. But that's not the way it works, and that was the way it was forever. The statute just put that in writing.
Camille has been fighting these changes for a decade and says the new law will only line the pockets of lawyers and the already wealthy.
And the rest of us, the older women here in Florida, well, we're just going to be, I don't know, maybe collecting government assistance.
Or get a job, Camille. Or get a job. See, here are two interesting tidbits. 70% of all divorces are initiated by women. And out of the top 10 richest women in the world, 7 of them acquired their wealth through divorce. So this has been an ongoing racket for quite some time. Now, am I here advocating for women to remain in abusive relationships? Or that a divorced woman should be left destitute? No. But where this becomes a dangerous practice is when we start to adventure in no-fault divorce land. The fact that a woman can walk into a courthouse and cite irreconcilable differences as the cause for her divorce and still get lifetime payments is nothing short of highway robbery. Look, you need help for a year or two while you seek employment, sure. But a lifetime? For what? What job in this world where you can quit on your own accord and ask for half of the company as your severance package? And the same applies to these insane child support payments. Tristan Thompson was once again ordered to pay $40,000 a month to his jump-off who he has a 6-year-old child with. 40,000 American dollars. Unless the child has a terrible cocaine habit, there is no justification for that amount of money in child support. And of course, the common argument in this case is, oh, the child has to upkeep the same lifestyle when he's with mom as when he's with dad. Why? Why? Dad is an NBA superstar. Mom is an Instagram influencer. They're not the same. It is indeed much more fun at dad's house. And where the argument even makes less sense is when it comes to divorces, right? You got accustomed to a certain lifestyle. Okay, so what? You lived said lifestyle under the condition that you were my wife. Shit, I was accustomed to you doing my laundry, cooking my meals, and blowing me every night. Are said services still to be rendered after the dissolution of our marriage? Because if that's not the case, just I will have to get used to sorting out my own socks. You can make do with the studio apartment. This is my house. You leave. And you know who else feels that way? Any woman who has had to pay alimony. Oh, those poor things. Being subjected to something so unnatural. You see them walking out of the bank at the beginning of the month with no light in their eyes. Total shells of their former selves. Hearing them talk about it is even more heart-wrenching. Jesse, the sad receipts.
So let me ask you this. You've talked about in the past where you had to go on tour to pay alimony to your ex-husband. I don't know if the number is correct. I saw it was like $30,000 a month or something like that.
Yeah.
Correct us if we're wrong. So looking back on it in hindsight, what would you have done differently when you first got married in terms of shielding your assets?
I would have never let a person have that much power over my money, my life, over anything ever again. So now I'm learning, I'm in control of my business, I'm in control of my life, and it's mandatory that I learn more about finance business, so I don't ever have to be robbed again by, maybe somebody you think you can trust,
That is exactly what a divorced man sounds like. You can hear the rage in her voice. The same rage, I'm sure, is in the voice of many men watching this video right now. Look, I think that we as a society can all agree that the only man on earth deserving to be taken for every penny during a divorce settlement is none other than comedian and TV personality Steve Harvey. Married 3 times and divorced twice, Steve still maintains rhetorics like these. Jesse, the treacherous receipts.
All right, now listen to this. Actor and wrestler John Cena recently split from ex-fiancée Nikki Bella. He made her sign a formal contract before they moved in together in 2013. It stated that if they ever broke up, she would have to leave the premises immediately. Are relationship prenups a good idea?
I say yes. I think that they're a really good idea. I mean, by the time that you get to the point where you don't want to be with each other anymore, you want it to go as smoothly as possible. And at this point, you can pull out that piece of paper and be like, this is yours, this is mine, and you can separate in a nice, amicable way. At least that's what you hope.
I don't know. If I'm done with someone, I'm done. I don't want any of this. Take it. I'm out. I think if you have a prenup or if you have some sort of contract, you're already going into the relationship with an expiration date. You're thinking, I'm gonna break up with you.
This wasn't a prenup, though. This was a contract that he put in front of her, 46 pages, that says, if we're gonna break up, you are out the door. Ladies, your strongest weapon is your intuition. If somebody's handing you a contract on day one saying, if it don't work, your ass is out the door, your ass needs to be out the door on day one.
Yes, I agree.
I don't even understand what's going on.
This is a 46-page contract.
46 pages?
You know, it's a funny thing. I agree. If you go into it with the idea that it's going to end, let me tell you something. I don't know a single person that has a prenup that ain't had to use it. She said, you're preparing for failure. It's like having a plan B.
Yeah, it's your insurance policy.
See, people kill me with that. A plan B is ridiculous. If you have a plan B, how can you possibly expect A to work if you don't put your all into A?
So that clip began to go viral following rumors of infidelity on the part of his wife, Marjorie Harvey, which, in the spirit of full disclosure, they have both come forward and denied. But nonetheless, you would think a man who has lost everything twice wouldn't purposely lead other men to the precipice of a marriage without a prenuptial agreement. It is borderline criminal. See, the thing that Steve and his cohorts in that clip failed to mention is the fact that the person you get in a relationship with is not the person that you break up with. Hurt people hurt people. A prenup is rules of engagement. How are we to act if we end up going to war? How is property supposed to be divided? How are we to manage the custody of the children? Who is paying legal fees, etc.? Over 57% of all marriages end in divorce. If there were a 57% chance that the building you're currently watching this clip in is going to collapse, you would take your phone and watch the remainder of it outside. What Steve Harvey is literally asking you to do is jump out of a plane with no parachute because you might grow wings on your way down, which is indeed absolutely preposterous.